Doing an objective is not as straightforward as you might think. There's a lot of preparation and the goal might not even be to get the objective. But don't fall into despair just yet, because I'm here to cover it all. It's very important to take control of the area around the objective before the enemy team, as it is difficult to take control of the area back once it has been taken. Therefore, you cannot be on the opposite side of the map 30 seconds before the objective spawns, unless you have teleport and pay close attention to the map. I was taught a brilliant tip 2 years ago by a former pro player from my country. A tip I will now share with you guys. And it's called PvP. No, not player versus player, but prior vision prior. Before every objective, you should achieve the PvP. And it's a nice rule that is easy to remember. It works like this. Get prio in 2 or 3 lanes by fast pushing waves. Then place deep vision in their jungle behind the objective and clear all of their vision on and around the objective. And then go back to the lanes fast pushing once again before finally doing the objective. This way you force the enemies to send one guy per lane to catch the waves. If they don't, they lose out on a ton of XP and gold, but if they do, they're lacking the members to contest the objective. This is the safest way to acquire vision around an objective, and vision is important. Vision gives you the info you need to know what to do. Without vision, you might as well plug out the monitor because you're already playing in the dark. Another broken thing about this is that having pushed waves before starting an objective will minimize risks if your team were to die, as you lose less resources and the enemies have to use more time pushing waves to get to your towers. It also maximizes your gains, as you can faster push towers if you kill the enemies, since the waves are already pushed. Someone with teleport should be on the opposite side of the map right before doing an objective in the mid to late game. This is to apply pressure far away from the objective, forcing at least one of the enemies to respond, making the objective much safer to take. And if they don't respond to the pressure, they lose a tremendous amount of resources, and your guy with TP can just teleport in. When you're starting to do the dragon, you should always pull it out of the pit. This makes it much harder for the enemies to contest and potentially steal the dragon. Not only is the dragon not in range for a blast cone smite anymore, but the ones throwing abilities to check the HP of the dragon will miss, which denies them info. In addition to all of this, you are not pinned into a small, claustrophobic area where you are at a great disadvantage if the enemies try to fight you. Instead, you are out in the open where you have a lot more potential to outplay. You are much more likely to win a teamfight this way, rather than letting them into the pit and surrounding you. Sometimes they'll even be split up and you can choose who to kill before the rest of the enemies reach you. With a new objective out, a lot of people wonder when they should actually play around it. I am of course talking about the Void Grubs. Every jungler wants you to be there when you play support. But can you always be there? No! The easy way to determine whether or not you should be on the grubs instead of being bot is if your ADC can manage to survive while you are gone. It's as simple as that. Or is it? Your ADC could be safe while you are gone, but as we all know, ADCs are fucking toddlers, and their favorite thing to do when left alone is to tumble down the stairs. So maybe you can't leave your toddler alone to go for the grubs. Unless he's utterly useless, because then you play for someone else anyways. Something super important that I never see in games below Diamond is keeping the enemies away from the objective. You probably don't need everyone on the objective, so maybe 1 or 2 of you can stall the enemies, without overcommitting, of course. As a team, this is generally the strong one's job, the one who can actually hold them off by slaughtering them. But in your solo queue games, the duty will very often fall upon you as your team is fucking clueless. And as a Pyke enjoyer, I don't really complain as I deal 0 damage to the objective and it one-shots me. But I can literally one-shot the squishy enemies if they walk up cluelessly into a bush. A lot of people tend to see red when it comes to objectives, and think that if the enemies get an objective, the game is lost. That's what makes it so fucking easy to pick them off by guarding the entrance to the objective. They will even fixate on the objective to the extent where they lose towers, so even if they steal the objective, they lose. Sometimes they'll force an objective so much that they throw the entire game away. It's smart to bait out the enemy's sums and ultimates before an objective, without committing too hard. Because it's equally important that you and your teammates save your summoner spells and ults for the objective. Basing like this can be scuffed and lead to throws, but if you at least focus on keeping your own sums and ult for the objectives, you should be good to go. If you want to improve quickly, a coaching session with me costs you only $15 per hour. You can watch all of my videos and learn a ton for free, but they are all pretty general, and through coaching we can get to the root of your problems and fix them instantly. And if you want to learn more without spending money, you can always follow me on Twitch, where you'll be able to ask any questions about my gameplay live. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. It really does help both me personally and the funny algorithm. Anyways, thanks for watching till the end.